uh, we are dealing with standard deviation, 6 marks. So I want you to pay much attention to this. This is very simple. Once you understand the concept, then everything will be simple. So under standard deviation, what you need to know is that we've got two things here. We've got the first one, which is called the grouped data. We've got the grouped data. So we've got the grouped data under standard deviation. Secondly, we've got ungrouped data. So these are two things that you're going to find in your exams. It either a question comes under grouped data or a question comes under ungrouped data are what we need to know. So a question will come either under grouped data or ungrouped. So we've got grouped data or ungrouped data. But in today's lesson, I will start with ungrouped data. So I'm going to start with ungrouped data because I'm going to start with ungrouped data. This is what I'm going to start with. So I'll start with ungrouped data. So ungrouped data, the reason from the word ungrouped, something which is not what grouped. So numbers are written scattered anyhow. So you are going to see questions that are coming in this manner. I know in here I've got people that completed school like a long time ago, and during their time they never saw something like this. They just introduced standard deviation in 2016. So here we are going to see something like a mark like this, marks. Then here they are going to say frequency. Then numbers will be written like this: 8, here 5, 4, 6, 7, maybe here 5, 3, then here 2, like this. Then they will say the table below shows a given area of a certain school where students performed in mathematics, and the data is shown below like this. So under statistics, when you see a table that will look like this, have you seen the way this table is? Numbers are what? Are independent, they are scattered. This is ungrouped data. This data is not grouped because the range is not specified. Have you seen? So anything that will look like this in your exams, this is ungrouped data. So this is what you need to know. Any data that will be presented before you and is coming in this manner, just know that this is what? Ungrouped data. So this is ungrouped data. This is very simple. So the question after like this, straight away you find the question here saying it is the first question. They will just say calculate. You just say calculate the standard deviation. This is our question. Calculate the standard deviation. Then you are going to see the 6 marks here written like this. Have you seen? This is how the question will come. Calculate the what? The standard deviation. So what you need to know here, there's nothing like explaining more on this. What you need to know, a graph that will look like this. Just know that this is what? This is the ungrouped data. And the same way I'm going to answer it, that's the same way you need to answer it. So the first thing that you need to do, so we are answering what? Standard deviation. Step number 1 is to find the mean. Have you seen? Step number 1 is to find the what? The mean, which is presented by bar x. So bar x represent mean. So we need to find the what? We need to find the mean. These are steps. 1 to find what? Standard deviation, which is carrying how many marks? Which is carrying 6 marks. So I'm going to be slow as I can so that we understand this properly. So mean, the formula is summation of frequency x, like this, multiplied by x over summation of total frequency. This is the formula that you need to know. Where f here is the frequency. Frequency, where is the frequency here? So when a table is like this, even if they haven't indicated that this is the, the frequency is down here. So even if they haven't indicated that this is your frequency, just know that what you found down here, what is found down is the frequency, and what is found on top is the x, which is the midpoint. So whether they haven't indicated that this is x, this is frequency, just note this. What is found on top is what? X. What is found down is the what? The f. So the x is the midpoint, the f is the what? Frequency. So this is what we need to know and understand. So whether they have told you that here is x, here is frequency, just know this. What is found on top here is called the what? Is called the x, which is the x is what? Midpoint. F is the frequency. F is the what? Frequency, like this. So summation, the word summation means addition, or you are getting the sum of certain things. So summation of frequency times x. Have you seen? So you'll be multiplying frequency times x plus frequency times x until you finish all these numbers there. So you are going to say, so step number 1 is to find the what? Mean. Let us get this. Step number 1, we get the what? The mean. So I say mean is equal to, we say, have you seen frequency times what? X. So I'll start with this first column. So 5 times 8. I will say 5 times 8. Have you seen? Summation means plus. I move here. The frequency is what? 6. So 6 times, what is x? 4. Plus 5 times 7 plus 2 times 3. Have you seen? Like this. So this is what it means. Summation of frequency times x. This is what you need to do. So before saying 5 frequency times x until you finish all these, this times that, this times that, this times that, this times that. Then you say over what? Over the total frequency. So in certain questions, the total frequency will be given in the question above here. There is always a sentence above here. So it will be given. But if you don't want, you can just add this plus this, summation of total frequency. So you add all these numbers here. So like I told you, we need to use the calculator. 5, so you say 5 plus 6 plus 5 plus 2. So what is the answer? The answer is 18. Have you seen 18 there? So I say this is equal to, so I add here. So adding here on this step, because of time, we are not supposed to include these brackets. So these brackets should be here, where should just be here when we are doing what? When we are presenting this week. But if you want to be fast, we can forget about these brackets on the mean. But we are going forward, we are going further on this one, where you are not supposed to leave these brackets. But on this one, on calculator, just forget about these brackets. So just go straight. 5 times 8 plus 6 times 4 plus 5 times 7 plus 2 times 3. So you can confirm with me. So I've gotten this answer over what? 18, like this. So I divide 105 divided by 18. What is the answer? The answer is 5 point what? 5.833. It is just going, the number is just going like this. Have you seen? So finally I can conclude and say that my mean is what? Mean is equal to what? I'll go with 5.83. I'll go with this. Have you seen? So I'll go with this. So I've put my answer to 2 decimal places. This is the point. Then I say 1, 2. So like this. Then I concentrate on this number on my right. Is this number greater than 5 or less than 5? This is less than 5. So the 3 will maintain. But if it was 5 or greater than 5, I need to add a 1 to this. So this one would have been a 4. So this is my what? This is my mean. This is not my answer. The question is saying find the standard deviation. So I found the what? The mean. So the first step is the mean. So here they're going to give me 2 marks. So I want you to know how you are moving. So leaving your answer here, they're going to give you 2 marks. So after you find this one, step number 2 is to find the what? The variance. So we need to find the variance. This is step number 2. We find the what? Variance. So which is what? Initial V, which is equal to capital letter V. What's the formula for variance? So variance is summation of frequency, open bracket, x minus mean by x like this, cross, then squared like this, over summation of total frequency. So we know summation of total frequency is 18, the same one there. So even here it is what? 18. So have you seen the way I've written this? This is how we are going to be going or flowing. So this is what? This is summation of frequency. Summation of frequency like this, x minus this. Have you seen x midpoint minus the mean? The mean we have, it is this one. The x we have, we go back to this. Have you seen? We go back to this. X is there, frequency is there. Also the mean we have, it is here. So we can now try to substitute. Have you seen? So I'll say V, variance, is equal to now. The first one is what? Frequency. So you check your what? You check your graph. Your table, you check your table. Where is your table? This table. The question is saying what? Frequency, open bracket, x. Have you seen? So just be doing like this. So this is here. So the table is here. So let me write it here so that we understand. The table is something like this. 8, 5 like this, 4, 6, 7, 5, then 3, then 2 here. This is how the table is. So I've told you that here it's x, then this is frequency like this. So getting the formula that is here. Have you seen? Getting this formula, the first one is frequency. So the frequency there is what? 5. So I will say 5 open bracket. What is your x? Your x is 8. So 8 minus, what is your mean? Your mean is this one here. So your mean is what? 5.83. You cross, then you say squared. Plus, so just be doing this. You move to the next one here. The next one, frequency is what? 6. Frequency here. So 6. Open bracket. X, what is your x? 4 minus mean 5.83 cross squared plus. So you just be going like that. You do this, you go to the next one. So the next one is 5. The frequency there is 5. So 5 here. Have you seen? Open bracket. Then 7 minus what? 5.83 cross squared plus. The last one is what? 2. Have you seen? So you say 2 open bracket 3 minus 5.83 cross squared. Have you seen the way I've written this? Then everything now, everything divide by what? Total frequency. So we added this. We know the total frequency. It is what? 18. Have you seen? It is what? 18. So I want you to understand this is the part where most people find it difficult to understand. But I want you to understand this properly. The F here this is the frequency. This is the X, which you're able to see there. So you say summation is adding, I told you, so don't be confused about this. So you'll be going 1, 2, 3, 4, which means you're going to add 4 things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, there are even 4. The first part here, 5 and 8, it is here. Frequency 5, open bracket, 8 minus. So you cannot start with the X. You say 8, open bracket, 5, no. Which means you have not understood the what? The formula. And make sure you don't forget this squared. So these are things I'm telling you where a lot of people make mistakes on these. So let's make sure we follow this procedure. It is a very simple procedure that we need to get and understand. So after this, you say now variance is equal to the same way I've written these things. This is the same way you are supposed to follow them. You get your calculator very well. So you get your calculator very well. So you get your calculator very well. I'll be typing it from here. You get your calculator very well. So you punch this the same way I've written them. 5 open bracket 8 minus 5.83 close squared. I believe we know where the squared is on the calculator, like this. Where is the squared? The squared is here. Open bracket is here. This open close. So like those, we know those things. So just be going like that. Type everything here. You type this exact way. You are not supposed to forget this square, this square. Just type the way I've typed this. On your calculator, you type. So this may look very difficult, and you may be wondering if you are going to manage this in your exams. But you don't need to worry about that. They say practice makes perfect. So once you begin to practice, you just need to know these two formulas. Just know this formula here and this formula here. And the good part is that you are going to find these formulas given in a paper. You just find the formula like this, but in a square root. Have you seen? So after you find this, the answer, when you type everything here on top, if you type them correctly and very well, like this exact way, then you get this answer, which is what? 6.5002 over 18. Then what is your answer when you divide that by 18? You get this answer, which is what? 3.6944555556. You get this answer. Have you seen? So this is your what? This is your variance. So once you find the variance, then you just say, therefore, standard deviation SD is equal to what? Square root of what? Square root of this answer. So just square this answer, which is what? 3.6944555556, like that. So standard deviation is equal to, what is the square root of that number? So what is the square root? The square root is what? 1.9220966656. So this is what? Your standard deviation. You can also complete it by saying, you can write it properly in 2 decimal places, where it will be 1.92. 2 decimal places. From here, 1, 2, boundary line here. This number is less than 2, so this less than 5, so this will maintain 92. So this is your standard deviation. So once you write this, you are given the 6 marks. Have you seen the 6 marks? So this is what we need to do and practice. So let's make sure we practice and understand all the procedures that I've shared here. These are things we need to practice. So just need to know this formula. Have you seen? Know this formula and this other formula. So 2 things. Variance, you find the variance. The first thing, you find the mean. After you calculate the mean, then you go to variance. After you find variance, then you find the square root of variance. That is your standard deviation. So for you to answer this question, where it's saying calculate the standard deviation, these are the procedures that you need to do until you reach the what? The final answer. Have you seen? So this is what we need to do and get. So on your calculator, just an emphasis, you discover that you'll be typing numbers. You discover that your calculator will be complete, like it cannot allow you to type other numbers. So for example, if you are typing this, then your calculator ends here like this, 6 open bracket 4, then calculator ends, which means you need to delete the 4, the open bracket, and the 6 and the plus here. You end where there is a square here, then you say equals, then after equals, then you continue now plus, like that. Have you seen? So let's make sure we practice through this, we understand. Let me now forward you